For more episodes of the Games4all podcast, check out our website, www.games4allpodcast.com.
You can also follow us at twitter.com/Games4all or check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Games4all podcast.
The Games4all podcast is brought to you in association with HostGator. For all your web host needs, check out hostgator.com. Hello, welcome to the Games4all podcast, episode 73. I'm your host Dan Young. With me as always is my good friend
Matt Damon. Just kidding, I'm James Craigie.
Oh, for a minute you had me fooled. Okay. What the hell? Interesting way to start the show. Okay, well, Michelle's not with us today, as you may have guessed, because she's not talking right now. So we'll get on to why in a minute. But first of all, we're going to start with a bit of sad news. Although it's probably not obvious why we're mentioning it straight up, it's been a sad day. Steve Jobs died. He was previously CEO of Apple. And every so often you get on these kind of very innovative people who really help to shape technology and have these kind of forward-thinking ideas and push things like, you know, and although like we're a gaming podcast and it's like, well, why are we mentioning this? Well, in a way, you could argue Steve Jobs...
His influence has kind of had an effect on the games industry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, he's a guy who's done a lot of things with his life, and, you know, including investing a lot of money in Pixar and things like that. Although, like I said, it's not really to do with gaming, but you could argue, you know, he's had a massive influence as far as the home computer itself goes, and, you know, one of the first computers to have, you know, actual graphics.
That was the Apple
II, I think.
You said,
yeah. So, like, you know, I mean, he's had a kind of very far-reaching influence in kind of our obviously day-to-day technology, and obviously now with things like the iPad and the iPhone, gaming on the move's changed a lot more. Mobile gaming's changed a lot in the last few years, and you know, I'm an Apple fanboy. I'm you know, not ashamed to admit it. And so yeah, it's very sad news, and we just kind of want to just say, you know, rest in peace, dude. Very sad day for Apple fanboys, and you know.
Yeah, and you know, everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
He has sort of reached out and had an effect on so many different people. So,
exactly, yeah. So this is our little tribute to him. So yeah. But moving on to some slightly kind of lighter news. Michelle's not here. It's her birthday tomorrow.
Yes.
Or today as
you're listening.
So once the show's out, it's her birthday. So happy birthday, Michelle.
So she had a choice of recording the podcast or going out and getting pissed. And guess which one she picked?
No, don't blame her.
No.
So happy birthday, Michelle. Speaking of getting pissed, we, if you haven't heard it already, we did a guest spot on Underground Geek Network, UGN.
That went well.
Yeah, it was an interesting, evening. We want to thank Aaron and everybody from UGN, Josh, Van, Zam, for kind of, you know, having us on the show, and we basically got hammered. Yep. Some of us more know it, but we got hammered, and you know, it's a fun little show. Yeah, I don't know. I'm lost for words, really. I still can't get over what happened.
I know. It was
utter craziness.
It was a really fun night.
Yeah, and you know, so we've had them on the show a few times, or Aaron at least on the show a few times, and so yeah, we've been looking for kind of our chance to get on their show and ruin it. No, not really, but we did, and unintentionally. No, so please check them out, undergroundgeeknetwork.com. Please subscribe to them on iTunes.
They're explicit now.
Yeah, they are now. Yeah, I think, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's still the deal on that one. Yeah. But yeah, check out that episode 21. We're on it, and it's a lot of fun. It's basically 2 hours of us being pissheads.
They had no choice but to go explicit. We kind of broke their bleep machine. So.
Yeah. Okay. And there's one more thing to mention. Obviously, you'll be hearing more from Eugen soon. The Halloween special, we started doing some promotion for it. As I'm speaking now, we've got some photos up on our website and on Facebook. Just a few production stills and a few bits and pieces. A poster, which is good. I can tell you like it. And it's kind of the first inklings that this is Halloween special is coming closer and closer, because every week we're going to be putting out something a bit different. First of all, it's the pictures and the photos and that, and next week we're going to be putting out a little teaser trailer, which is good fun. And then the following week after that, we're putting out a slightly longer trailer. And we don't quite know what we're going to do the following week. We do have some ideas for what we're going to do, but I'm not going to. It's top secret at the moment. And then, obviously, on the last Monday of October, we're actually releasing the Halloween special itself, so it's on its way. And every Monday, new promotional material for said Halloween special.
You'll laugh. I cried.
Yeah, you did. Okay, so what have we been playing? You can start if you like.
Okay. Mentioned last week I was playing Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Yep.
Come to a decision. Yeah. I'm going to go for that 100-point achievement for getting 100% on everything.
Okay.
Really close to it. I think I'm at to like 90.59%. I've got like 2 or 3 sequences to go.
Okay.
A couple of little side missions, but yeah, that's kind of been consuming.
I can tell.
Everything. But it's all in preparation for Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Excellent.
And we've got some more Assassin's Creed news later. But
yep.
No, that's good. More Fallout New Vegas. Not much to say on that. Just been fiddling around with that.
Still awesome?
Still awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I really want to play it. I mentioned it last week that I much want to play it, but I just it's just so much stuff.
Like I said, a lot of the bugs have been fixed, but there was one mission where I went into a hotel and the big boss guy of this gang that had moved in, he had like an incinerator and some pretty cool weapons. He was sat down in kind of like a dining hall area.
Yeah.
And I'd souped up you get a basic rifle at the beginning of the game, but you can get all these attachments to it. It's got a silencer on it, it's got extended magazines and a night scope.
Yeah.
So I sniped him from the kitchen, and he disappeared into the floor.
It's a fucking good rifle.
He was sitting on the chair, I shot him in the back of the head, and he just went, and just melted into the floor. So I didn't get any of those weapons or anything, but got some decent experience. It was critical shot. Groovy little animation. Not too fast.
Nice.
I couldn't carry it anyway because of the weight limit.
True. Alright, so that's that.
I've been playing the Battlefield 3 beta as well. We talked about that.
Yeah, we mentioned that last week.
Yeah, I decided to have a go on PS3 to see how it measures up.
And?
It's exactly the same.
Yeah, I thought.
It's no... Not that I could tell, unless I was doing like a side-by-side comparison.
Yeah.
I just couldn't tell any difference at all.
Okay, fair enough.
So.
Yeah, that's kind of...
Oh, I suck at it, by the way.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I couldn't even get into the tunnel.
Really?
Really?
Oh, dear.
I just kept getting to the entrance to the tunnel, and then as soon as I got in there, boom, dead.
Shit. Recent figures, 12 million people online playing it.
Cool.
Yeah. Some big numbers.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, it ends next week, actually. I think like next Tuesday?
Yeah.
I think so, like the 10th or something.
Yeah,
so
and then sort of 2 weeks after that it's out.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be interesting. Really looking forward to that. What else? Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Right, so what have I been playing? Essentially, spoke last week about Dead Island.
Yeah.
That's pretty much finished. I haven't played any more of that.
So that's what you've not been playing.
Yeah. Exactly. I've been playing Gears4all 3 actually, and I've restarted it recently with my other half, playing it in split screen because we only had that one copy. But now we've got another copy, so we've been playing it, and we're pretty much near the end.
Cool.
And it's taken me a while to actually play through it, obviously, but really into it now. Actually, I think we did mention it when we were on EGN, so Aaron's finished it and had shared his thoughts on it, but what the hell?
That was my stomach, sorry.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think there's definitely the story gets quite a lot more interesting.
That's awesome.
Several hours in, and then it gets really good. There's some definite twists that you might not be expecting, a lot of stuff in there. It gets quite dark.
Cool.
Very dark. and
As in literally the lights go out?
no,
or...
no. Well, yes and no, but no, the actual tone of it's quite. It's quite depressing in a few places, but in quite of a neat way. And yeah, you can tell they've really taken the time to weave a bit of a yarn because, let's be honest, story-wise, Gears 1 and 2, not the best.
I saw a cool YouTube video of Gears of War summed up in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
But with this one, it's, there is a story and, there's definite plot progression and stuff. Going back to the obvious things, graphics are amazing. It still amazes me to this day how you can go from Gears 1 to Gears 2 and to Gears 3 and still keep improving that engine and how good stuff looks.
Yeah.
Gears 3 looks unbelievable. I still can't get over how nice some of the stuff looks. Like, some of the locations are just ridiculously good.
If it was the train on Back to the Future 3, it would be the red log.
So basically, there's one thing they do quite well. They did fairly well with Gears 2 compared to Gears 1, and that's like introducing a lot of new stuff as far as like enemies and that kind of stuff goes. And they've really pushed the boat out. There's a lot of new stuff in this.
Cool.
And because obviously, if you're playing through a trilogy of games and you're facing the exact same shit every time, you know how to kill it. There's no.
So now you're sort of further in. You're saying that there is more variation. It's become
there is
less...
a lot more variation.
Oh,
yeah.
that's good. Looking forward to it now because we've procured a couple of copies.
Yeah,
so we're hoping
definitely.
to do 4-player co-op this weekend.
That should be good. Yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah, it's definitely. Within the first couple of hours, it's like, oh, this is quite good. It's Gears, and then they kind of change things up quite a bit and introduce a lot more different enemy types and. There's like I don't want to blow too much of the story, but this isn't really going to give away too much. There's like a submarine sequence.
Cool.
That's pretty awesome, and it's just shit gets crazy, and
shit gets real.
Shit gets real. So I don't really want to. I'm not going to give any spoilers away because that'd be pretty unfair. But
we'll leave it a couple of weeks.
There is definitely over out of all 3 games, you can tell they've really put a lot of effort and listen to the kind of feedback and what the fans had to say and improved in areas where it wasn't as strong before, like the story wasn't that great, and they've really definitely done a better job this time. And I will say this is a very good advocate for pushing back release dates and taking the extra time, adding the extra layers of polish and stuff, because it shows that there's been they've taken the time and done it right, and it's great. It's really good fun. I haven't quite finished it yet. I'm probably like 20 minutes from the end. I did try and actually try and get on and play some before we recorded, but it just didn't happen. So yeah, pretty much just Gears 3 this week. So
that's cool. Well, we'll talk more about that next week.
Rage, well, not to blow what happens at the end of the show, but Rage comes out this week, and I'm kind of hoping to maybe pick that up if I can.
Yeah. But
I've just blown money on Gears 3, so we'll see. Anyway, that's pretty much what we've been playing.
Yep.
That's the first segment of the show. You're about to hear from our good friends over at the Underground Geek Network. Check them out at undergroundgeeknetwork.com. We'd recently been on their show on episode 21. They became legal as far as drinking goes. 21 episodes. And, shit got real.
Yeah.
We had a few drinks, and as you may guess from this promo we're about to play, so anyone who hasn't checked the show out yet, please head on over to iTunes, check out our good friends over at Underground Geek Network, or just head to the site and listen to it on there. So we'll be back in a bit with news.
We've now hit 21 episodes, and we can do whatever the hell we want.
Jeez. Okay then, cock.
You're drinking cock. Drinking cock. In honor of this, we're all tossing back drinks.
Sorry.
Fuck.
Did anyone mention explicit tag yet? Shit.
Okay.
I'm only glad you have that explicit tag now.
Yeah.
It's not just Rabbit Man. It's Rabbit Man and Tired Man. Tiger Man.
Right.
Are you alright?
Josh?
Do you need
I'm
to go
just
lie
a
down?
webmaster.
Good job, buddy. Way to go.
Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast.
Oh, Josh, you scamp.
So we're gonna mention again because we want people to head over there because our good friends over at the Underground Geek Network, and it's our first time on their show. You know, me and James did a little guest spot, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed being on the show, and we want to thank those guys for having us on and putting up with us. And we're hoping to come back on there again at some point if they'll have us back, if it's not too much hassle, because I imagine it wasn't too easy. But we'd like to have them all on the show again at some point before the end of the year. That would be great. So if you're listening, guys, get in contact with us. We want to have you guys back on at some point. We'll work something out. We're in talks. So news,
yes. As you know, a lot of games companies kind of copy each other. You got PlayStation Move sort of copying and emulating the Wii. Obviously, like things go up in graphics. Earlier on this week, Xbox Live went down.
I wonder where you was going with this. That's interesting. Yeah,
it only went down for a little while.
Yeah,
but it caused quite a lot of controversy
because nobody knew why.
No. Basically, I was playing. I was actually online when it happened. It booted me offline. I thought, oh, fair enough. Happens occasionally.
Yeah.
Sign on. Wouldn't sign on.
Yeah.
Couldn't get on to anything. Check the server status. It was down. Microsoft said that they are aware of the problem.
Usually is not a good thing when it's not scheduled maintenance or...
No.
We're aware of the problem. Oh dear. They refer to it as a problem.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Doing what they can to sort it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh dear, but... It didn't last too long, which was good. But Microsoft's Eric Newstatter, I think that's pronounced right, stated that it was human error was to blame. A change resulted in an interruption to normal traffic flow within our data centres, he said.
So
basically someone pushed a button and all hell went loose.
Oh, okay.
I think somebody might have leant back on their chair and flicked a switch and
pushed the button that said "Don't push this button."
Yeah,
the big red button.
Yeah,
maybe that was
it. So basically,
launched some nukes.
Yeah, so basically they had to switch it off and on again.
They had to take the cartridge out, blow on it, put it back.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
And it all came back.
Slap it a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this did get me into some trouble because
wrap a towel around it.
Yeah, I was playing a game at the time, and because it kicked me off, it hadn't actually registered that I'd gone offline.
Yeah.
So that I appeared online playing this game all through Monday when I was or Tuesday, I think it was.
It was Monday night because I remember logging in, and you were sat next to me, and it said you were online playing Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, and I wasn't.
You were sat next to me.
Wasn't, and my elder sister called me up or chatted to me on Facebook and said, "Why weren't you at work today? Why were you skiving off? Why were you playing games all that?" I'm like, "I wasn't. I was at work all day."
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
Xbox lies.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But no, it's all sorted. These things happen.
Well, at least it wasn't any kind of anything serious.
No, but obviously the Sony fanboys are jumping on it. But shit happens.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the end of that story.
Well done. Okay, what's next?
Yeah. Obviously, at the moment, there's the big Resident Evil anniversary.
Yeah, the whole
things going
HD revival stuff.
Yeah. Game I've been looking forward to seeing more of, even though I won't be able to play it. Resident Evil Revelations for the 3DS.
Oh yeah.
It's that one that looked really nice, sort of like Resident Evil 5 graphics.
Yeah.
On 3DS. It's finally been dated for the US.
Okay.
Which I imagine will be a few days later for us in Europe.
Yeah, would have thought so.
It's 7th of February 2012.
Okay, it's not too bad.
No, so that's when it's coming out. So 3 days later for us.
Yeah. Well, yes. I mean, it'd be funny. I mean, obviously, there's a few decent kind of first-party 3DS titles coming out over the holiday season, but
they need more.
They need a lot more, and it's a bit of a shame. I feel sorry for the early adopters, Aaron, and people. Well, I'm just saying people like that who picked. Well, they've been reimbursed and had so many games given to them for free and stuff, but it's a shame because there's really not. I'm looking for an excuse to buy one. Yeah. And, there's a few cool games, but I kind of want more.
We need a few more.
Yeah, we need some more, and it's just Star Fox is great and everything, but...
Zelda.
Zelda, yeah, great. You know,
Well, that's pretty much it.
yeah. I mean, you know, the new Mario Land and that's going to be cool, and
Yeah.
Mario Kart. You know, I don't know. I'm just kind of waiting for that real kind of fucking awesome title to come out for it. That's just going to push things for me. But yeah,
But in the meantime, this does look great.
yeah,
It's sort of set between Resident Evil 4 and 5, so it's sort of a bridging thing, and you know, I'm looking forward to hearing some opinions
yeah.
on what it's like.
Yeah,
I'll have to get Aaron on the show again, see, he'll no doubt get it.
I would have thought so.
He'll
Okay.
buy as many games for it as possible.
Mm.
Next story. Game I'm looking forward to, coming out in a couple of weeks, and we'll be doing a games night for it, is Batman Arkham City.
Yeah.
Obviously, details are still coming out, new characters are being revealed and all that, but there's also been a trophy list. What was that?
I don't know.
A trophy list
Something leash.
kind of released, which shows like some achievements and stuff, which mentions post-release DLC.
Oh, okay.
So obviously they have all the different like pre-order bonuses and stuff, but they're obviously going to throw in a lot of support and all that. And stuff like Catwoman Challenge Map DLC, which means that that's probably not going to be on the game itself, which is weird, seeing as you can play as her.
Well, I'm confused. So this is achievements and trophies.
Yeah, under the heading of DLC.
Oh, okay, got you.
Trophies.
Yeah, got you.
And stuff. One of the things, obviously, there was the news that Robin's going to be available as like a challenge character, but now
Everyone's excited about that shit.
yeah, I don't know. They've kind of tried to make Robin cool, and it's sort of worked. But everybody really wanted is Nightwing,
Yeah.
who was the first Robin who decided Robin's not cool. I wanted to do something better, but no, a lot of people are asking for Nightwing, and it looks like it's happening.
Cool.
So, looks like there's going to be a lot of support for that, and I'm really looking forward to getting it.
Excellent. That's good. Really good.
Talking of DLC support, we were chatting about it earlier, Gears of War 3.
Yeah.
Obviously, they had the season pass thing, which entitled you to the four free DLCs.
pack, yeah.
And we knew that the first one was coming out in November.
Mm-hmm.
That's now been detailed. That is the Horde Command pack.
Right.
Available for 800 points. It contains 3 new characters, which is the Onyx Guard, Big Rig Dizzy, and Bernie, who I think is in the game,
Yeah.
you mentioned briefly. 3 new maps.
Mm-hmm.
One is Blood Drive.
Okay, yeah.
There's another one, Rust Lung and Azura, which is kind of like a verdant green
Okay.
jungly thing, and a couple of weapon skins.
That's not too bad for a
No.
decent little pack.
Plus, as it implies, the Horde Command pack, you get a whole lot of extra stuff for fortifications on Horde mode.
That's cool.
Stuff like
That's pretty cool, yeah.
missile upgrades for the Silverback
Hey.
mech and new
There's a lot.
turrets.
There's a lot of stuff they can do with DLC.
and new
Yeah,
command.
interesting.
But yeah, so
That's pretty cool. 800 points as well. I'm surprised it's not more.
yeah,
That's kind of worth it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I might pick it up just for because we're obviously going to be playing Horde mode.
Yeah.
And this kind of looks like, with all the fortifications and stuff, looks like it might be worth it just for a little.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, cool.
Last bit of news, another game I'm looking forward to, Assassin's Creed Revelations. Obviously it's become like an annual release thing, and they have confirmed that there will be a new Assassin's Creed in 2012.
Right.
And it's looking like this one is possibly going to be Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh, okay. Right, got you.
They've said it's going to conclude Desmond's story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously, those of you who've played the game from the start know that it's set around the whole prediction that the world's going to end in December 2012.
Right.
So obviously they're going to want to finish the game up and sort of tie that up before
Yeah.
2012. Finishing Desmond's story sort of implies, because they've already said it won't be Ezio or Altair, there'll be a new protagonist, that maybe this will be the game where we play as Desmond throughout the whole game.
That could be interesting, yeah.
Yeah, but it's also going to mark the end of the annual releases. They're going to take a little break from it and try and do something innovative and
I
take
think
their
that's a
time to do that.
That's a wise move.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because obviously we know there's going to be like spin-offs and stuff, and the main plotline finishes in 2012. Finish that off, then take the time to see where the series can go. develop more multiplayer titles, spin-offs, all that. So
Excellent.
that's cool. I'm
Yeah,
really
it's pretty
excited.
cool. I mean, it's good to sort of... Maybe they are running a little low on ideas and kind of thinking, yeah, this is quite a lot of work to put out a game every year.
Yeah.
There are some companies that can do it, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's... If you're going to be innovative as well, it's not... You can't kind of have both
No. Well,
without rushing a game anyway.
like I said, the amazing thing so far is I think that the quality hasn't really suffered at all from doing the annual releases.
Yeah.
But Assassin's Creed Revelations originally wasn't going to happen. It was going to be a 3DS title.
Okay.
And so as they were developing that, they thought, actually, this could be a pretty good sort of main game in the series. So
Okay.
they kind of developed it more.
Okay, that's cool.
So, yeah, no, looking forward to that.
I've got a little bit of news. Not... Well, because it seemed like the news is a bit thin on the ground this week, but...
I'm sorry, dude.
No, I didn't mean like that. I'm just saying
It's been a slow news week.
We got through it fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Treyarch have put out a ad for some peeps to work there that hint at something. They've basically said that they need programmers for taking their hit AAA title, obviously Call of Duty, to a new gaming platform.
Ooh.
Whether this is the next Xbox or next PS3 or just
Or the Wii U.
or just the Wii U, yeah, exactly, or even 3DS, who knows? But it's interesting that, you know, we're starting to see this kind of hint towards moving on to sort of other things. Obviously, we knew about the Wii U and stuff like that, so it could well be that. But I don't know, interesting. A lot of speculation over whether or not it's going to be that, or you know, literally next gen stuff.
In a sort of side note, you've heard of the film Real Steel? Hugh Jackman.
Oh yeah, I knew this was coming. I know.
Yeah. There's a advertisement on one of the
mock-up.
things, a mock-up of saying Xbox 720.
Yeah, it's kind of more of an in-joke for the gamer.
I think so. I think basically
It's not, you know, at the end of the day, they probably went to Microsoft and said, hey, you know, we're making this movie set in the future, robots and stuff, cool, awesome, here's some money.
Xbox sponsoring
Yeah,
it.
we can't use the Xbox 360 logo because it realistically wouldn't be around still.
Yeah.
Here's the, you know, everyone's joking that the next one's going to be called the 720 or whatever. Yeah, blah, blah. They just got Microsoft's kind of permission to do it, presumably, and yeah, that's what they did.
I think a lot of people are taking it to heart that
Exactly.
that's what the
Taking
next
it
one's
very
going to be.
seriously, yeah.
As I think it's all kind of tongue in cheek.
It is. It's just a kind of a nod to the people who are, you know, those same people really who are kind of speculate on that kind of shit. Because let's be honest, it's exactly the same logo, just with the numbers changed.
Yeah.
And we all know that the logo is probably going to be different.
Yeah.
for the next
I mean,
Xbox.
to be honest, I don't think Microsoft... Obviously, they've only released two consoles. That's the Xbox and the Xbox 360. I think they're probably going to go in a slightly different direction and maybe change it up and not try and
Would
sort
have
of do
thought
the
so,
same thing.
yeah.
Because, you know, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. Next one's probably going to be PlayStation 4.
Oh, I thought so. There's a thing
I
there.
think sort of Microsoft will try to do something original.
Yeah, maybe. We'll
As long
see.
as it's not Xbox 360 U,
Yeah,
I'm happy.
definitely. Awesome. So, another break, I think, has been in.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking about this week's top 10 and the game releases for this week. Hello and welcome back. We are going to be talking about the Switch releases, but first, James is going to do the top 10 this week.
Yeah, standing in for Michelle, I will do my best.
Okay,
At number 10, we have Call of Duty Black Ops.
cool.
At number 9, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean.
Still holding in there.
Yep. 8, Driver San Francisco.
Not doing as well as it probably could.
Number 7, new release, Ico and Shadow of the Colossus HD pack.
Shame it's not higher up. Well, it is though.
You're going to comment on every single
Yeah,
one.
I'm trying to think of something to say for each one.
Yeah. Number 6, Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Yeah, it's doing well.
At 5, it's Dead Island.
Good.
At number 4, please stop buying it, people, Zumba Fitness.
Bullshit. Here's my quick review, because the guys at UGN wanted us to do a full review on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a kind of truncated full review on it. Absolute dog eggs. There you go.
Dog eggs being a euphemism for shit.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
At number 3, it's F1 2011.
popular racing franchise. Gonna do well in it.
At number 2, it's Gears of War 3.
Awesome. It was number 1 last week. It's still fighting fit, it's selling copies, can't argue with that.
At number 1, big surprise, FIFA 12.
Yeah, we called it last week.
Yeah.
Pretty much. At the end of the day, it's the sales for Gears 3 are going to kind of drop. It sold 3 million in its first week. This is pretty much the best week it's going to have, let's be honest.
I've kind of noticed that FIFA 11 is nowhere on the list.
No, exactly.
Like the first time it's dropped out of the top 10 for...
Yeah, I mean, exactly. This FIFA 12 will probably stay in the top 10 for a long, long time until FIFA 13 comes out.
See, this is the game that all these sort of gamers who don't really have have consoles but aren't real gamers. This is for the football fans. People who buy the consoles just to play FIFA. This is kind
of... Some of them same people are playing COD and stuff. Yeah,
but... You knew this was going to because football is huge.
Yeah, it's a massive, massive franchise. FIFA 11, like you say, is nearly a year old and it's still selling enough to keep it in the top 10. So it's like, that as soon as this one's coming out, it's more of the same shit, but people eat that up, so it's fine. Whatever. Sorry, he's eating and shit in the same sentence, and James is just looking at me like, "What? That's not good." But no,
especially not after my dinner.
Anyway, so no, I mean we called it. That's fair enough. That's to be expected.
We were right. This is me patting myself on the back.
Well done. Okay, so what comes up this week?
This week we have on 360 and PS3 Dark Souls. Have you heard anything about this?
Bits and pieces.
It's sort of a spiritual successor to Demon Souls, which was a notoriously difficult RPG thing on PlayStation.
Yeah, I think I've heard.
Basically, it's supposed to be incredibly hard. A lot of people are comparing it to Skyrim, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because they're completely different kind of games. But there was a certain review, I won't mention what website it's on, but I will say you can't spell ignorant without it.
Oh, IGN. So, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
They basically did a whole comparison of what both games have.
I think it's fucking funny is the fact that you've mentioned IGN like every week. Like, oh, this was on IGN. That was on IGN. You go on Facebook, you link stuff from IGN. You don't have to beat around the bush, man.
Okay. The ignorant fucks at IGN.
They ain't going to listen to this, whatever.
It's just like they did this bullshit article, which a lot of people are kind of like memeing.
Yeah.
Kind of like Dark Souls versus Skyrim, and in every category Dark Souls won, but it came to stuff like DLC. Dark Souls has no DLC. It's a complete game. It has no post-release plans at all, blah blah blah. Skyrim, they've already said that there's going to be like huge massive DLC expansions. Winner, Dark Souls. Excuse me? I'm going to want like big stuff after release.
Here's the thing, whatever. IGN do put out some real shitty little, I mean, don't get me wrong, we're no big cheeses, or whatever. We're
more knob cheeses.
Yeah, more knob cheeses. We're no, God no. But we're no reviewers. We like to give our opinion. That's kind of how I like to see it. We're not really reviewing stuff. We're just saying what we think, and we're not professional, this, that, and the other. But hey, IGN do put out some real shit articles, and that one time that really put me off IGN was the
when they outed Yoshi.
Yeah, the homosexual game characters, and it was just like, this is the biggest load of drivel ever. And there's a massive thing over Twitter about everybody slating IGN over just how ridiculous it was that this article was even thought up, let alone actually published. So well, this you can't take anything they say seriously.
No, this Dark Souls article is pretty much along the same vein as that. It's just ridiculous. I think RPG gamers should just be lucky that there are two games that are going to be that good and keep them that busy in this year.
So that's out.
360, PS3 and
by
PC.
Out I don't mean homosexual. But go on.
On 360, PS3 and PC, we've got Rage coming out this Friday.
I was not that excited for this until recently. I know, I've heard a lot of good stuff, and when you hear hype and stuff, you think, this day and age, I'm kind of, some stuff I buy into, and some stuff I'm like, nah, I'll just wait till it comes out and then we'll see. But, kind of recently I've been seeing a lot of good stuff, and pretty tempted to pick it up.
A lot of fairly positive reviews. I think the only sort of criticism is that is like the story
Yeah.
and all that, and it can like drag a bit in the second half.
Is that IGN reviewing it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not, that doesn't mean anything.
No. But apparently it looks amazing.
Yeah,
it plays great. It's solid.
I do really want to pick this up because I think,
I think we're going to have to try and find something somewhere, maybe borrow it from someone who has bought it and
maybe,
give it a go.
I'm tempted to get it and sell something to get it, but no,
there's a kidney you're not really using.
Yeah, fuck it. Get rid of that. It's fine. I can play some Rage. No, yeah, I am tempted. It does look very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And not coming out this week, but before next week's show, on the 11th of October, Just Dance 3 on 360, PS3 and Wii. Getting that shit.
You know what? I probably will. No, I don't know, actually. This is one of those ones I think that... I'm going to kind of leave this.
Yeah.
And kind of see how it plays out. And kind of see, like, because don't get me wrong, I love my AAA titles, I love my action games, I love all this stuff, but there's something about jumping in front of Kinect and just acting like a total dick.
Twat.
Yeah, and Zumba Fitness wasn't that good of an experience. Like, we enjoyed playing Dance Central.
Yeah.
And there hasn't really been, there hasn't been a kind of, that does sound a little weird.
What makes me laugh is, you said that, I'm like, yeah. I'm thinking, no, I'm not being ironic. I actually did quite enjoy Dance Central.
That's the weird thing, because you'd think, oh yeah, dancing game, it's not really for me. But then, you get in front of it, and it's kind of quite a bit of fun. And if Just Dance can do that, but better, then I'm not saying it will, but if the possibility is there, I want to see how it faces off against Dance Central 2.
Yeah.
And what sort of kind of ends up being the better game, because I'm tempted to get Dance Central 2, even though it's kind of more of the same. And I haven't really played that much of the first one. It's just another kind of Kinect game that I can just pick up for the hell of it, But I don't know, like, there's something fun about it, especially when you've been drinking.
Yeah, there's something about these dance games, like you mentioned Dance Central, Just Dance 3, it has that sort of factor, like when there's a video camera set up in an electronics store with on lots of TVs, you always get some twat making a complete twat of himself in front of the camera. Yeah, there's that thing, if you see it set up there, you will get in front of it and you will make a twat of yourself.
I'm interested. It's probably going to be bad, but whatever. It's so great on Wii, and it's his first kind of venture out into other platforms, so
yeah. Well,
hopefully it does alright, And, no, with no hint of irony at all, I'm not even being sarcastic or nothing. I actually hope it does alright, because, it's hopefully going to, it might even push sales of other equipment, like Move and stuff, and Kinect, who knows?
And combat obesity.
Yeah, probably not, but,
Feed the starving Africans.
No. Anyway, so that's pretty much this week's releases.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I think that's pretty much the show.
Yeah, I think so.
I am spent.
Okay. So, thank you very much for listening. Once again, we want to mention our good friends over at the Underground Geek Network, because we haven't mentioned them enough, I don't think. But really appreciate those guys having us on the show. It was a lot of fun, and we want to do it again sometime. But head on over to their website, undergroundgeeknetwork.com, and check out their episode 21. It's a blast.
And we're on it.
Yeah. And we might throw in a few clips at the end of the show of our guest appearance, just to kind of tease people into going over there and checking it out. So, once again, thank you very much for downloading and listening, and hopefully you enjoyed this week's show. Michelle should be back next week, hopefully.
Yeah. Unless she's still hungover.
That would be interesting.
Which after this weekend is a strong possibility.
Yeah, true. She'll be back next week, and yeah, I forget where I was going with that. Anyway, you can check us out over at Games4all.podcast.com.
Took you a minute there.
Yeah, it did. I don't know why. That's our website. It's got everything on it. An archive of audio episodes. All the audio that we've done is on there. All the video stuff we've done on there. Tons of bonus stuff. More Halloween special promotional stuff coming very soon to your face. I don't know what the fuck that meant. Check us out there. Games4all.podcast.com. Podcast at Games4all.podcast.com if you want to email us. Twitter.com/Games4all podcast if you want to follow us on Twitter in a non-stalker-like fashion. And Facebook.com/Games4all podcast.
What is going on with you?
I have no idea. It's I'm tired.
Okay.
And don't forget Josh's mum's on there as well.
Hey.
Facebook. Okay, anyway. God, I said that. Anyway, so thank you very much. We'll be back next week with episode 74. And have a great weekend. And goodbye.
We've now hit 21 episodes, and we can do whatever the hell we want.
Well, I can't even pronounce what the hell this shit is, but...
Hold on, let me have a go.
Oh, by the way, we can say what we want.
Cock.
You're drinking cock.
Drinking cock.
I want to import some Kmart stuff.
Kmart.
Oh my god.
I think Ernie Hudson likes stories, sir.
I was shooting for some goblin juice, too, but they didn't have any. That was
You're shooting for some goblin jizz? What?
shooting for some goblin.
Were you shooting for some, or was it shooting for you?
That beats the cock I'm drinking.
Gratuitous tits.
I used to call my girlfriend a coontalicious coont bag.
And you're in a relationship still, huh?
I'm going to use that. I have to steal it. Sorry.
It's great, isn't it?
Penis.
Wow.
Chill.
Yeah, we have foreskins. Amazing.
That's
Okay,
a direct line. Direct line.
We're wall-to-wall foreskins. You can't walk down the street without seeing foreskins flapping in the wind.
For more episodes of the Games4all podcast, check out our website, www.games4allpodcast.com.
You can also follow us at twitter.com/Games4all, or check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Games4all podcast.
The Games4all podcast is brought to you in association with HostGator. For all your web host needs, check out hostgator.com.